interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. We're back at it. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic. It's time for Huddle Up on Extreme Sports as we get started here for a Tuesday morning, the 16th day of December for 2025. Ready to get going this morning. A lot to talk about. Of course, Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola has been in the news for the past 24 hours or so. He evidently plans to enter the transfer portal. We'll talk plenty about that on the show here today. Another former Husker wide receiver, Malachi Coleman, is headed back to the transfer portal. Nebraska junior center Bergen Riley is one of the four finalists for the AVCA Division I Women's Volleyball Player of the Year award. Nebraska is up 8 spots to number 15 in the latest AP Men's College Basketball poll. Meanwhile, the Nebraska women are up 1 spot to number 23 in this week's poll. The Huskers are 11-0 in the season. Hastings College men's basketball team, they're playing in Texas this week. They've got a game against Houston Tillotson coming up tonight. Hastings College women's basketball team preparing for tomorrow's game against the Flames of the College of St. Mary's in Omaha. The Nebraska Kearney women's basketball team had an easy time with Southwestern College yesterday. Got some high school basketball coming up tonight. And in the NFL last night, Pittsburgh knocked off Miami by a score of 28-15. So we'll talk about all that stuff and more throughout the hour here today as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning, my man.
Good morning. I suppose we probably shouldn't bury the lead. Let's get right to it. The man who went to 4 different high schools, flipped commitment on 3 different colleges, is on the move again, packing his bags, and according to Sports Illustrated's Pete Thamel, Dylan Raiola expected to hit the transfer portal. And now speculation begins on a number of questions, but the first domino, so to speak, falls as far as the offseason puzzle needs to be put together. Nebraska needs to structure and put together a roster here in the offseason, and apparently it's going to start at the quarterback position.
Yeah, do we go with TJ Lateef next year, or do we look into the transfer portal and see what's available there? I'm sure there's going to be several options, but are we satisfied with the TJ Lateef and what he got then at the end of the season? We've got some youngsters coming up for Nebraska as far as the quarterback position is concerned, but where do we go?
Big names expected to hit the portal. I'm looking over at the University of Florida and seeing a guy like DJ Lagway and knowing his athleticism and his capabilities, think he might be a pretty good fit to go after some of these attractive quarterbacks. But there's some big names in the portal. But then on the flip side of that is you got to also say, is TJ going to be the guy? We had enough people, I think enough of the fan base that was screaming and shouting his name during the Minnesota game when things were starting to look a little bleak, and Minnie Mahomes is sitting there in the pocket for 6 to 8 seconds, continuing to go sack after sack after sack. We wanted more mobility, and we were screaming for a guy like TJ. But then, TJ comes in, and obviously we saw kind of how the offense was put together in the latter part of the season. We go down the stretch. Things didn't look very good against Penn State and Iowa. So to me, that's not necessarily the answer. I'm hitting the portal hard. I think my first phone call is probably DJ Lagway. Then you're going down the list. But there's some big names, and I think our first piece of the puzzle has to start by putting in a quarterback.
I was reading about DJ Lagway this morning. He's been beat up down in Florida. He's one of the top dual threat quarterbacks in his class coming out of high school, but he really hasn't reached his full potential down at Florida either. He doesn't have gaudy numbers down there after a year or so because he's been banged up a little bit. He's not been able to run a whole lot. So
well, you thank Billy Napier for that and putting him out there and not having an offensive line to back him up. And
I have another team that doesn't have a whole lot of offensive linemen to back him up and gets quarterbacks injured.
And also development-wise, clearly Billy Napier wasn't the developmental mindset for him. I think he's got some athleticism in it. I mean, listen, and here's the thing about the portal is you're going to have some guys that are going to hit the portal that are going to be crap for one man's trash, another man's treasure, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Royola could easily go and walk into Indiana next year, probably win a Heisman Trophy and a national championship. And that would be the ultimate middle finger to Nebraska. But because the system is better tailored, he gets better weapons, he gets more athletes. I'll say again, our receivers and our offensive line sucked. And it's too bad because I think Dylan could have been a very good quarterback in our system, but we have too many holes and too many things to fix and not enough time to fix it. So Royola's saying deuces, obviously. You say what you want, but I think a lot of it had to do with, and he saw the writing on the wall. With the development of our offensive line and the firing of his uncle, we kind of started to put the pieces together much earlier when Dayton decommitted. So it all comes to fruition here. I guess the thing, go get your quarterback. I don't know. Again, I'm just throwing Lagway out there as a name. I think that's. We got the staff here to develop him into a quarterback, but we got to get some other pieces around him. Excited about the offensive line that's going to be coming in. I think we got some great gets in the class this fall. So
we only signed 10 players in this year's class. I think that's an indication that we are going to be very active in the transfer portal. I think the small numbers that we sign with this year's recruiting class shows that we're going to be a major player in the transfer portal here this year.
I mean, 25 men, 25 minimum, I think, coming through the portal. We're going to have to flip it, and we're going to have to do some heavy lifting. And I do think it starts at the quarterback spot. I think we need to get a splash QB to come in here and start bringing some names in, because once one name goes, the rest of the portal guys are going to, it's like when the Heat became the super team that they were, right? Like, it all started with, like, Twitter and an announcement, and next thing you know, they rounded up just a bunch of 3 or 4 dudes that says, yeah, let's go win 2 or 3 NBA titles. To me, that's kind of how the portal can play out. A lot of times you see one guy go commit, and their buddies, and they're shooting text messages and saying, let's get these guys together, let's go play some ball. But I think you got to start it with the QB spot.
All right, so I know we got a quarterback coming in next year's class. So
next year's class, yeah.
Yeah, next year's class.
27.
Yeah, 27.
He's still got to go to prom.
Yeah, find a prom date.
He's got to find a prom date before he becomes a Husker.
So another name that's going to enter the transfer portal, Malachi Coleman. He played for Nebraska for 2 years, never really did reach his potential here, decided to move on last year. He went to Minnesota, and he had 5 catches, 83 yards for the Golden Gophers last season. He is expected to enter the transfer portal as well. Malachi Coleman.
32 at this point?
God, it's been around, it seems like forever. And 5 catches, 83 yards last year for the Gophers.
I would enter the portal for Division II purposes at that point. Maybe NAIA ranks.
God, we'd take him at Hastings College.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we'd take him at Hastings College.
Text Matt.
See if we can get Malachi Coleman.
I'd toss some NIL money Hastings College way to bring in Malachi Coleman.
Probably not enough.
I'll be his Uber driver.
That's another thing. Going back to Dylan, we were paying him like $3.1 million. Where's he going to get that? Somebody will come up with that cash, won't they?
I don't know. I don't know how any of that shit works, man.
You have
I try not to worry about it, and I try not to think about it because I know it'll just enrage me if I do. So,
yeah, he'll have to go sign somewhere and get a lot of bucks, or he's going to wish he didn't leave Nebraska. But somebody will ante up and get that. So, anyway, that's the latest on the transfer news. If you'd like to chime in on Dylan Raiola leaving, going to the transfer portal, you can. Give us a call up, 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line, 402-834-1330.
Confident in TJ? Are you confident in TJ? Do you want to see us go get a quarterback in the portal? What quarterback do you want to see us go get in the portal? A lot of lingering questions. I think that we can get some feedback from the fan base from here this morning. As again, Dylan Raiola is expected to hit the transfer portal. You know what I'm excited about though?
What's that?
We can watch a Husker game and no longer get Pat Mahomes comparisons. We no longer have to worry about the graphic and the Pat Mahomes comparisons and the side-by-sides. That makes me a very excited Husker fan. Because I was sick and tired of that shit.
Yeah. Dylan went a little bit too far on that stuff.
It was a little too creepy.
Speaking of Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, boy.
He had surgery last night in Dallas.
Survey says.
To repair his torn ACL. Evidently, he also had damage to the LCL, which you don't hear a lot of these days. It's usually the MCL and the ACL. I'm not a doctor, but they fixed his ACL, and also they repaired his torn LCL.
His knee was really messed up.
Not really messed up. No other structural ligament damage, according to the docs.
Other than your LCL and ACL.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I hear a lot about ACL. I don't hear a lot about LCL. Anyway, the typical recovery time for such an injury is about 9 months, meaning Mahomes will miss the team's offseason program, and his availability to start next season is in question. The 2026 NFL season begins on September the 10th. Meanwhile, an MRI on Monday confirmed that Green Bay Packers defensive end Michael Parsons sustained a season-ending torn ACL in his left knee. Same injury. Mm-hmm. Parsons' knee buckled without contact while he was chasing Denver quarterback Bo Nix in the third quarter. The Packers' 34-26 loss in Denver on Sunday. This is the first major injury of Parsons' NFL career. He missed 4 games last season because of an ankle injury, but otherwise has missed only one other regular season game since he entered the NFL in 2021. Parsons' first season with the Packers ended with 12.5 sacks, making him the first player in NFL history with at least 12 sacks in each of his first 5 NFL seasons. Now, given the timetable for most ACL recoveries, it's possible that Parsons will miss games to start next season. Now, the Packers typically hold out players for 10 months following ACL surgery. This year, receiver Christian Watson returned to game action 294 days after his ACL tear. So a similar timeline would put Parsons back in early October next season, meaning he could miss at least 4 games. So those two guys both went down, very similar injuries. Now the Packers' timeline is getting Michael Parsons back in October of next season. So the same injury to Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are in the same situation as maybe Nebraska. We better go out and look for a quarterback.
Do you draft one? Or do you find just some veteran that can kind of keep the ship
sailing,
heading towards port?
We've got Gardner Minshew, but he's under contract only through this year. You know a name that came up this morning in my early morning readings that the Chiefs could go after?
What do you mean early morning readings?
Well, I get up at...
How early is early morning readings?
I normally get up at 4.
Jesus, that's too early.
Today, I woke up at about 3:40, and I said, I'm not going back to bed for 20 minutes. So I got up and do some early morning readings. You know what name popped up?
So, I'm not done with this story yet. Keep that on hold.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have questions.
Yeah.
Like, you no longer have to get up and warm up the car and drive to work and turn lights on and make sure all the other things in the
office is working.
Right. You don't have to do that anymore. So why do you still keep getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
It's just a habit. It's a habit.
But you can break it now.
I've been getting up at this time for 30 years. So your eyes just kind of open. Your eyes open, and I just decided 3:40, I'm not going to go back to sleep for 20 minutes, so I just got up. The very next day after I quit early morning AM radio, the very next day I slept until 9 and was just fine. Oh, I couldn't sleep till 9.
And then this was something I had done early morning AM radio for 18 years.
Yeah, you and I
the very next day I slept until 9.
What about the next day?
It was like 8-ish.
Yeah, see?
But it's not 5.
And now you got hooked up with me again.
Right.
And look, now you got to get up at 6:35.
Yes. And no text message or phone call can happen before 6:35, or I get really crappy.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So that's exactly. I love the 6:35 factor. I don't have to wake up at 5. I don't have to get the car ready, de-ice, do the scraping. All of these things make me very. And you're still doing the 4 a.m. thing. That's just nuts to me. Anyways. Yeah. Go on. I believe Amber spoiled it on the comment section. You were doing your early morning readings, and Kansas City was getting what quarterback?
Cam Newton is not one of them. God, Cam Newton is not one of them. He hasn't played for years, has he?
I don't know. I can't
He's
remember.
Like Colin Kaepernick. His name just keeps coming up time and time again. No, Cam Newton is not the guy that's on the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think he last played when Phillip Rivers last played, prior to Phillip Rivers playing this past Sunday.
And it's not Phillip Rivers either.
Well, I know that.
I mean...
He's on the Colts.
Yeah, but he's not going to be on the Colts forever. Joe Flacco.
Super Flacco.
Super Flacco is being mentioned as maybe a Chiefs target to bring in to bridge the gap. Joe Flacco. I can't see Joe Flacco running the Kansas City offense right now.
I just not with that offensive line. I mean, he can't take a hit. Period.
Joe Flacco is not going to run the Kansas City Chiefs offense.
No, I don't like that.
Of course. I think Nagy may or may not be here next year, the offensive coordinator.
That's a realistic possibility.
So who knows what offense we're going to run next year for the Chiefs.
Russ Kindig chiming in. The Colts must be Colts. The Colts would rather have Rivers than Newton. Nobody wants him. Well, that's why they have Rivers and not Newton. Yeah,
Rivers evidently, that experiment is not over yet with Indy. Adrian Martinez. I like that as a better choice than Cam Newton. Get Adrian Martinez in during the offseason for Kansas City.
God.
Get him in there.
This Husker Kansas City Chiefs relationship is already disgusting enough. Oh, God. Could you imagine Adrian Martinez?
I can't imagine that either.
Oh,
I can't imagine
this state would never. God, this state would almost become unclean if Adrian Martinez went to Kansas City. It would just be toxic with Chiefs fans everywhere. I wouldn't be able to live in this kind of environment. I'd have to move.
Yeah, you thought it was bad before with Chiefs fans. If Adrian Martinez ended up on the Kansas City Chiefs roster. You wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah, call up your buddies in Mitchell. Tell them I'm moving up to South Dakota.
There'd be Chiefs fans all over the place. Anyway, Phillip Rivers, evidently he's going to continue to be the Indy's starting quarterback for the next game. It's going to be a Monday night game against San Francisco. The Colts fell to the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday in Rivers' first action since the 2020 season. He was 18 of 27 for 120 yards. Didn't really throw the ball downfield a whole lot. But Phillip Rivers is going to be the starting quarterback for the Indy Colts again, coming up on Monday. San Francisco 49ers will be the opponents. And finally, the Washington Commanders have did what we told them they should have done 10 days ago on this show.
Listen to common sense?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is going to be shut down for the year. I think you and I talked about that at least 10 days ago. He's had all kinds of injuries all year long. He's played only 7 games this season, leaving each of the last 3 with an injury. So Jaden Daniels is done for the year, and Marcus Mariota will start the final 3 games for the Washington Commanders, who are currently 4-10 on the season. Oh, that's quite surprising news there. Let's see what other notes I have here that I want to get to. Texas quarterback Arch Manning. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's going to return to play college ball in 2026.
To Texas?
Yeah, he's going to stay at Texas.
Good. Because I heard that name floated yesterday on the Raiola, and I said absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What are you going to have against Arch Manning?
The fact that he went to Texas.
Yeah, get over that, will ya?
No.
God.
No.
Get over it.
No.
We haven't played Texas for years.
I don't care. I hate Texas.
I know.
They're disgusting. They're revolting. Them in Colorado.
I know. Get over that, too.
I don't care. Tell me to get over it. I'm not getting over it. Like, it's not going to happen, so.
Arch Manning, 227 of 370 this year. 2,942 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Better numbers than we had. Only 2 of those interceptions came in the final 7 games of the year. He added 8 rushing touchdowns, but Arch Manning is staying put. He's going to be back at Texas for the 2026 season. He's not jumping ship. He's not going to the transfer portal like our quarterback is. All right, those are my news and notes.
You know, I got some news and notes to pass along. You missed the playoffs, buddy. You had one job. I took care of my job. I did my part.
Fantasy, I lost last night?
You know, you won, but you ended up losing on the grand scheme of things due to multiple tiebreakers that had to have happened in formulas that I am not aware of. The 2 teams that finished 7 and 8. Oh, there was 4 actually. Chris, Dennis, Garrett, Mike, you. That's you. You all finished 7 and 8, and only 2 of the 7 and 8 teams got in, and that was Chris and Dennis. So
I'm in the losers bracket.
You're in the consolation ladder, which still pays money if you win. So you got to keep trying. But
God,
playoff matchups are set.
My football has not gone well. My fantasy team, I didn't qualify for the playoffs, and I'm in 3rd place in our Blazing 5.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Things have not gone well.
We got Dakota playing Dennis in the first round. IT guys playing Stroman.
Oh, God, that's a good matchup.
I've got Dennis Richardson.
Yeah.
Dave Richardson.
Yeah.
Not Dennis Richardson. So there you go.
All right.
Winners bracket.
Fantasy. How'd you do in the other fantasy leagues? All right.
1-1 first round playoff matchup because the other fantasy leagues are already in the playoffs. Ours was a late arrival. So I won a first round matchup and then I lost a first round matchup. And interestingly enough, I won a first round matchup as the 8 seed and lost a first round matchup as the 1 seed. So the regular season doesn't mean a thing once you get to the playoffs. I think Nebraska volleyball found that out. You could have an undefeated season and still get ousted early. That's what one of my fantasy football teams in the Steeple Brewing Company league did.
Amber has chimed in, providing a little light on the subject. She says, don't worry, the fantasy NASCAR league is just around the corner.
I should get in that.
You should.
I should get in that. I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's all right.
And that probably means I'm going to be successful.
We got Strowman in, and he didn't know what he was doing, and he still beat me.
Even when he didn't set his lineup.
Yeah, he did. 1 week he did. Anyway, NFL game last night, Pittsburgh beat Miami by a score of 28-15. And I didn't realize it until I was doing my early morning readings this morning. That is the 23rd straight win, 23rd straight home win for the Pittsburgh Steelers when they play on Monday Night Football.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that. They have won 23 straight games at home when they play on Monday Night Football.
It should keep that nugget stored away for a blazing 5 down the road.
Yeah, I did not realize that. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh is unstoppable on Monday Night Football.
That's at home.
At home. They beat Miami last night 28-15.
More impressively, they've played 23 home games at Pittsburgh in Monday Night Football.
Yeah. But Monday Night Football's been going on for a long time.
I mean, yeah, but still.
So if they play one home game a year on Monday Night Football.
Well, you're not really always guaranteed a home game.
Well, probably the TV executives put Pittsburgh at home. I don't know why.
Because they've won 23 times in a row?
Yeah, probably so. So anyway, 28-15 dashes the playoff hopes for the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, no.
Pittsburgh. All right, Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers. That brings me back to Aaron Rodgers at Pittsburgh. I told you.
We said 8.
I told you back when they signed Aaron Rodgers, I thought that Aaron Rodgers, if he stood upright for the entire year, that he would get Pittsburgh into the playoffs. And now they're on the verge of winning their division. Pittsburgh Steelers. I told you on this show that Aaron Rodgers would lead the Pittsburgh Steelers into the NFL playoffs.
You did.
However, second doubted me.
Well, I did, because look at their division and look what has happened and transpired. The Bengals have been trash. The Joe Burrow injury basically derailing any opportunity that they had to gain a foothold. Lamar Jackson's situation when he was out. And let's be honest, you put eyeballs on the Ravens, Lamar Jackson is still not 100%. He does not look good. So if you had a healthy Joe Burrow and a healthy Lamar Jackson, that division looked like it was going to eat their own alive. That was murder's row. And then you had all the injuries that occurred and all the things that basically derailed the Bengals and the Ravens. So, yeah, of course they're in line to win their division.
Yep, who's left standing? The Pittsburgh
fact that their
Steelers.
Quarterback, who was made of glass, somehow still made it without breaking, has put the Steelers in position to be in the postseason.
Yep. Isn't Chief any Steelers fan?
Yeah, he is. Says good win for the Steelers. Safe to say that Tua wasn't an Eskimo in his previous life. Because it was cold. And,
it was cold.
Yeah, it was cold and snowy.
But Tua's played in
I was thinking like
cold
Eskimo Brothers. Like, where are we going with this?
Oh, jeez. All right. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Again, if you'd like to chime in on something we've talked about, give us a call. 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to chime in with something on our social media sites, go ahead and do it. Lots of people in the lobby, lots of people chiming in. We'll get to some of those comments here in a little bit. It's 7:29 on Extreme Sports. Huddle up.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Well, today's newscast is all about money, or lack thereof. Nebraska's entire congressional delegation is asking federal officials for clarity on about $360 million in unspent federal broadband funds tied to the Broadband Equity, Access, and Deployment Program. Lawmakers want to know whether Nebraska can redirect the money towards, as soon as my screen becomes, towards precision agriculture and wireless connectivity after the state plan allocated just $44.5 million of the $405 million awarded for traditional broadband build-out. The letter, led by Senator Deb Fischer and signed by all 5 members, seeks guidance on how leftover funds can be used, emphasizing the original intent to close the digital divide in rural areas. Critics say Nebraska risks losing the funds and leaving rural residents with inferior internet options under the current approach. Meanwhile, Nebraska lawmakers set aside $3 million in the state budget to support domestic violence survivors and the network of service providers across the state. However, that money may never be released because it was tied to the Medicaid Managed Care Access Profit Fund, which currently lacks sufficient revenue to cover all programs lawmakers prioritize. Providers were already struggling with increased demand and limited resources, and advocates warn that without the promised funds, services like shelters, crisis support, and staffing could be cut back further. State officials say the fund is volatile and dollars may be redirected to other health priorities, leaving uncertainty over whether the domestic violence funding will ever even materialize. 7:31, we'll swing things back over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, Nebraska is up 8 spots to number 15 in the latest AP Men's College Basketball poll. The Huskers are 11-0 in the season after Saturday's 83-80 win over Illinois. It's the highest ranking for the program since it finished 11th in the final poll of the 1991 season. Arizona is ranked number 1, followed by Michigan, Duke, Iowa State, and UConn. Rounding out the top 10 are Purdue, Gonzaga, Houston, Michigan State, and BYU. Nebraska is up 1 spot to number 23 in the women's poll. The Huskers are 11-0 in the season. UConn ranked number 1, followed by Texas, South Carolina, UCLA, and LSU. Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola plans to enter the transfer portal. Raiola has spent 2 seasons with the Huskers and has started 22 games. He has thrown for 4,819 yards on 69% passing with 31 touchdowns and 21 turnovers. Raiola will have 2 years of eligibility remaining. Dylan's younger brother, Dayton, decommitted from the Huskers in late November. His uncle, Donovan Raiola, was fired as the Nebraska offensive line coach earlier this month. Former Husker wide receiver Malachi Coleman is entered to the transfer portal again. Coleman just finished his first season at Minnesota after transferring from Nebraska. He had 5 catches for 83 yards for the Gophers this season. Nebraska junior center Bergen Riley is one of 4 finalists for the ABCA Division I Women's Volleyball Player of the Year award. The other finalists are Olivia Babcock of Pittsburgh, Mimi Collier of Wisconsin, and Eva Hudson of Kentucky. The winner will be announced on Friday. Riley set the school record this year with a .351 hitting percentage. She averaged 10.47 assists per set and 2.70 digs per set. She also totaled 73 kills, 67 blocks, and 19 aces. Hastings College men's basketball team will play Hudson Tillotson tonight in Austin, Texas. The Broncos have lost 5 games in a row. They are 2-10 in the season after Saturday's 90-75 loss to Briar Cliff. Tip-off will be at 6. Hastings will play Texas Wesleyan on Thursday. Hastings College women's basketball team will play the College of St. Mary's tomorrow in Omaha. Tip-off will be at 6. We'll have the game here on Extreme Sports, beginning with the pregame show at 5:45 tomorrow afternoon. The Nebraska Kearney women's basketball team had a school record-tying 38 assists to Down Southwestern College, 111-43 yesterday at the Health and Sports Center. Lopers are now 5-6. They will host Chadron State tonight, beginning at 5:30. The UNK men will play the Eagles in the second game at 7:30. High school basketball action tonight. Adams Central will play host to St. Paul. The Patriot boys are 3-1 in the season. The girls are 1-3. The girls' game is at 6, so the boys will follow at 7:30 tonight. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports beginning with the pregame at 5:45 this afternoon. Other action, St. Cecilia is at Cross County. Hastings High is at Elkhorn North. And again in the NFL last night, Pittsburgh beat Miami 28-15. That's the 23rd straight home win for the Steelers on Monday Night Football. After checking your sports headlines at 7:35 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Tuesday will be the warmest day of the week with a high close to 60 degrees today, slightly breezy with the northwest wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour and mostly sunny skies. Tonight we'll have partly cloudy skies, a low of 28, 52 and mostly sunny on Wednesday. Wednesday night will increase chances for some showers, partly cloudy and overnight low of 29. The winds kick up on Thursday, plenty of sunshine, a high of 40 and gusts up to 45 miles per hour.
Right now in Hastings, we've got southwest winds at 7, partly cloudy. It is 31 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Have you checked the time lately? Good chance a Miletta Vista Winery is open. Hey, this is Mick with an update on our new hours. Tuesday through Sunday, we're open 11:30 to 3, and Fridays and Saturdays 11:30 till 9. Not sure what you want to enjoy when you get here? Well, Miletta Vista features award-winning wine, select beer, spirits, world-class foods, breathtaking views, and live entertainment. Visit MilettaVistaWinery.com. Check out our events page for music schedules and more. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Make your reservations now at Miletta Vista Winery, located on Highway 281, just north of St. Paul.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you. For you.
All right, Mike Will, Science Center Bronick with you. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Tuesday. Again, thanks for joining us, whether you're on our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, maybe on your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us today. Thanks for joining us. Again, basketball tonight, high school stuff, Adams Central and St. Paul from the Patriots gym. Girls game will go at 6 tonight, boys at 7:30 on the air with the pregame. 5:45 this afternoon, St. Paul and Adams Central coming your way tonight here on Extreme Sports.
Do you have an empty spot on your fantasy NASCAR league?
We can always get you in. Why? Are you in?
How much is it? I'm in. I'm a sucker for fantasy sports. I'll do it.
You don't know anything about racing.
It doesn't matter.
You might have to do a little work. Not much. It's a pretty easy league to get in.
You just pick the drivers, right?
Yeah, pick the drivers every week.
And they are in like a pool of A drivers, B drivers, C drivers.
Yep, you got her.
Just like fantasy golf?
Yep. Fantasy golf.
I've done fantasy golf before.
That'd be tough.
It wasn't easy.
Yeah, fantasy golf would be tough. We'll get you details, IT guy. We'll get you details on that.
Shoot me an invite.
Yeah. By the way. Nebraska's got another game coming up, the football team. We're going to play Utah in the Las Vegas Bowl on New Year's Eve. Phil Snow is stepped in to be our defensive coordinator after we axed our previous defensive coordinator, John Butler. We've hired a new defensive coordinator in Rob Arick, but he's not going to be the defensive coordinator in the bowl game. Phil Snow is. Now, Rob is on staff with Nebraska, and he's helping out with the defense, but he's not going to be the defensive coordinator. So Phil Snow is officially the defensive coordinator for the bowl game coming up. And Phil says don't expect a lot of changes scheme-wise with his direction.
Great.
No, there's not a lot we're going to do differently. I think if you have followed my career, one of the things we've prided ourselves on is how hard we play, how physical we play, and we know and do our job. So that's my primary goal. If we can have 11 guys out there that know exactly what they're doing, all right, then we can live with the consequence, right? So that's what I'm doing right now, is making everybody accountable. We're playing physical, fast, and know exactly what we're doing. That's what we're trying to get done. But no, there's not a lot of new defense.
Was knowing exactly what you're doing as far as the scheme and what you want to do, right?
All right, that's Phil Snow. You wanted to say that the defense obviously had some issues in the last two games.
Anytime that you see plays that aren't very well executed, that's really the problem, right? Is that people aren't in the proper gaps. Their eyes aren't doing what they're supposed to. They don't. Some of the guys at times don't even know what the call is. Believe it or not. I mean, it's so all this stuff we've got to play at a level that we're capable of, and so I'm trying to get 100% out of all of them that way, and really the non-physical things. So think about how hard you play. That doesn't take talent. Knowing what you're doing, that doesn't take talent. All right. Now the physicality of the game, a little bit of that does, but a lot of it's heart too, and you got to bring it. So a lot of the things that we're stressing really aren't about talent. All right, and I think if they can do those three things, they're going to play better. And if they do those three things, they're going to have fun playing together. And that's the fourth part of what we talk about, is that you're accountable to each other on how we play, what we do, how physical we are, knowing and doing your job, all those things. So that's what we're really stressing with them right now, along with technically getting better.
And Coach Snow says the team is motivated to play this game.
I believe that we have a lot self-esteem, we have pride. Whether it's your last, the guys that are never going to play again, I'm telling them, this is your last game. How are you going to remember it? Guys that have a chance to play in the National Football League, all right, this is a stepping stone, right? People are going to watch this game. And then the young players, your development over the next 12, 13 practices will dictate how you go into spring football. It's a critical game for all of us, and not just players, for coaches too. Guys, how we play on the field is a direct reflection of who's coaching them. I've always believed that. So it's our job to get them to play a certain way.
All right, what about the opponents in the Utah Utes?
So the quarterback position is rushed for 1,200 yards. That's just the 1 and 2. Okay. The tailback position is rushed for 1,500 yards. That's 1 and 2, the tailback. So there's other yards out there that they have. The quarterback has thrown, the starting quarterback, for over 2,000. Okay. 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's pretty good offense, wouldn't you say? Yeah. They've been over 400 yards 6 times this year on offense. Okay. They've scored in the 40s over 600 times. Okay, so I mean, this is a really quality group, and you know, they're well coached, got a really good scheme, really a good scheme. Involve a lot of people. Now they don't really run a lot, but they disguise it by running a lot of different formations. But they're physical. Offensive line's physical. This is a good group, well coached, and the head coach there, I knew his dad, and his dad played for the Raiders. Was just really a hell of a man. I don't know Kyle as well, but I know he was raised by his own man, and that team has been physical every year. So you're playing a physical outfit. I mean, that's just how they play football.
And the coach says the Utah quarterback is a major part of the rushing attack for the Utes.
The quarterback position changes the whole game. So, guys, if they run the tailback, we can have one more in the box than they can block. But when the quarterback's carrying the football, now it's one-on-one across the board. And the quarterbacks, the two quarterbacks are exceptional runners. Watch them. They're physical. They're athletic. And they like to play football. So this offense is a handful. And it's been for everybody that they've played. There's only really Texas Tech did a nice job against them. And then there was another team that did a nice job against them. But, yeah, the guys, they've rushed for over 200 yards in 9 or 10 of the 12 games. Normally, if you do that, you're going to win a lot of games, right? So, but they've really done a nice job with what they're doing.
All right, that's Phil Snow. He's going to be our defensive coordinator in the bowl game for the Huskers against the Utah Utes. Sounds like he's going to have his hands full. A talented offense that can score some points, get up and down the field. And Phil's going to step in and try to stop the Utes. Not a lot of teams have done that this year.
His first order of business has to be learning how to talk into a microphone and not digesting it while he's at a press conference. Secondly, that press conference was a lot more amusing. If you imagined Phil Snow, if you're picturing him, and a lot of us don't even know what he looks like because it's the first time he's taken a microphone, he looks like a cross between Al Pacino's character Tony D'Amato from Any Given Sunday and Mr. Mackey from South Park. And when you're imagining that cross as he's talking, that makes that a lot more amusing. And I really love the fact that, I grew up with this old man in the NFL. And that's a coach's boy, and that means he can coach football. Okay? It's really entertaining when you do the cross.
Phil Snow's been involved with football coaching for 48 years.
He's 69 years old.
Yeah, he's
nice.
He came here he's always been with Matt Rule, and
Pretty much.
He's not the general manager, but I forgot what his official title is. He kind of oversees
associate head coach.
That's what he is.
He was the associate head coach.
All right, so he kind of
whatever
oversees.
That means.
Yeah, he oversees the entire operations and whatever he needs Matt Rule to do, and Matt Rule needs him to do.
It's basically Matt's personal hitman.
Yeah. He told Matt Rule that he had to go back to coaching, though. Matt Rule is actually coaching the defensive line in preparation for the bowl game. Phil Snow told me he's got to go back to coaching.
Can't just sit.
No, just can't sit in the office.
Nope.
Evaluate film.
Get down in the trenches with the boys.
Yeah, so he put his hat on backwards, and
hell yeah.
Matt Rule is coaching the defensive line for the bowl game. So
good for him.
All right, so that's our first take of the Huskers' next game against Utah. Going to be on New Year's Eve, the afternoon game against the Utes of Utah. Early line was, what did I tell you last week, 14 points.
14-something?
14 points. It's still hunkering around that number. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough chore, the Huskers and Utah. All right, that's what's going on with the Husker football. Told you the basketball team up to number 15 in the latest AP poll. Highest ranking since the 1991 season when they finished 11th in the final poll. Mm-hmm. Huskers are off this week, taking finals for their first semester this week, so they're off until Sunday when they play North Dakota.
I don't think it's high enough.
We were up 8 spots.
I'm looking at the rest of the poll, and they
on a 3-pointer at the buzzer, and we beat, what was Illinois last week? Number 15.
Number 15.
Number 13, I think they
13.
were.
They dropped 5-18.
Yeah. So I think we're all right. 15.
We're 11-0.
Who cares?
There's a team in front of us in Arkansas that's lost 2 games. That's only
we're 11-0, but we're 15th in the nation, and we're a program that hasn't been in the top 25 forever.
We're above Kansas. You don't see that very often.
Way to dig that in there.
Oh, that was intentional.
That's from Ryan Martin.
That's for all of our Rock Chalk Jayhawkers.
Yeah, when was the last time Nebraska was ahead of Kansas in the AP poll?
God,
I don't even know the 1991 season if we did that.
Maybe, but Kansas was probably ranked higher in 91.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a real dig in for our Rock Chalk Jayhawk fans. Nebraska's ahead of Kansas in the AP poll.
We're almost ahead of Carolina. Like, we're in the same breath with North Carolina, which is
wow.
I mean, that's weird stuff. Vanderbilt is 10-0. What's going on in Vandy?
Vandy, Nebraska, and Iowa State are the undefeated teams left.
Iowa State looks really good.
So does Nebraska.
Yeah.
So does Vanderbilt.
Well, Duke and Michigan are undefeated. Arizona's undefeated.
Oh, I think that both programs undefeated.
Mm-hmm. Nebraska, Vandy, and Iowa State. All with more than 10 wins.
So now you're saying that we should be higher than 15?
I'm just...
Baby steps.
13. Put us at 13, above Arkansas and Vanderbilt.
Baby steps. The Nebraska women are up one spot to number 23. They're 11-0, and they're ranked 23rd in the country.
They still have to play somebody.
They've got... who do they got this weekend?
Nobody of relevance.
No, they play a Sunday game. Cal Baptist.
Never heard of them.
Sunday afternoon. They play the early game, and Nebraska will play at night in North Dakota. Then they'll break for Christmas. Take a couple of days off for the Christmas break before they get back at it. Now, Nebraska men, after they come back from Christmas and the New Year, they've got a game against Michigan State.
Gulp.
And Michigan State is number 9 in the country.
And
then, if we beat Michigan State, then I would think that Nebraska...
Top 10.
Yeah, top 10. God,
top 10.
We wouldn't know how to act.
Well, I mean, listen. I don't know how to act right now. 15 is uncharted territory, I think, for Husker basketball, at least in my lifetime, to be sitting in this position. But like I've mentioned previously, man, we brought it up yesterday during the show. Every single hurdle that I have put in front of Nebraska of, okay, we're going to snap back to reality tonight, hasn't happened. Creighton, Wisconsin, Illinois, on the road. Yeah, we needed a three-pointer at the buzzer, but we have beaten every single roadblock that's been put in front of us so far. Why not? Yeah, that Michigan State game, that'll be can't-miss TV. Grab popcorn, grab your friends, get a couple beers. We're a basketball school again. Like, we're getting together to watch Nebraska basketball, and that hasn't happened in my lifetime.
You know what scares me? North Dakota.
Overhype? Overlooking?
Yep, Sunday. Come off of the break. You're ranked. You're reading a lot about yourself.
We're invisible.
We're 15th in the country. We're undefeated. We're playing this lonely North Dakota team. And North Dakota, last time we played them last year in the exact same spots, had a 17-point lead over Nebraska in the first half before Nebraska rallied to get the win. This game scares me, and it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
But it's a trap game.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
So you saying bet North Dakota this weekend?
I don't even know what the line is.
I don't know either.
But yeah, this game scares me. You know who plays for North Dakota?
Who plays for North Dakota?
Remember Reggie from Hastings College?
Yeah.
He plays for North Dakota.
Well, shit, that scares me.
Yeah.
You could have led with that, and that would have scared me.
So, anyway. Yeah, anyway.
There's no lines on these games yet for this
not
weekend.
for Sunday. So,
nope.
Nebraska and North Dakota coming up Sunday. Anyway, that's what's going on with Husker basketball. 7:54. You're listening to Mike and Tyson Extreme Sports this morning.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
All right, today's topic's all about budgets, where Nebraska's entire congressional delegation is asking federal officials for clarity on about $360 million in unspent federal broadband funds tied to Broadband Equity Access Deployment Program. Lawmakers want to know whether Nebraska could redirect the money towards precision agriculture and wireless connectivity after the state's plan allocated just $44.5 million of the $405 million that was awarded for traditional broadband build-out. The letter, led by Senator Deb Fischer, signed by all 5 members, seeks guidance on how leftover funds can be used, emphasizing the original intent was to close the digital divide in rural areas. Therefore, precision agriculture and wireless connectivity is the thing that they want to spend it on. Critics say that Nebraska risks losing the funds and leaving rural residents with inferior internet options under the current approach. Meanwhile, Nebraska lawmakers also set aside $3 million in the state budget to support domestic violence survivors and the network of service providers across the state. However, that money might not ever be released because it was tied to the Medicaid Managed Care Excess Profit Fund, which currently lacks the sufficient revenue to cover all the programs that lawmakers prioritized. Providers are already struggling with increased demand and limited resources, and advocates warn that without the promised funds, services like shelters, crisis support, and staffing could be cut back even further. State officials say the fund is volatile, and dollars may be redirected to other health priorities, leaving uncertainty over whether the domestic violence funding will ever even materialize. Coming up on 7:57, we'll head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
As we told you, Nebraska up 8 spots to number 15 in the latest AP men's college basketball poll. The Huskers 11-0 on the season. The Nebraska women up 1 spot to number 23 in the women's poll. Huskers are also 11-0 in the season. Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola plans to enter the transfer portal. Raiola has spent 2 seasons with the Huskers and has started 22 games. He'll have 2 years of eligibility remaining. Former Husker wide receiver Malachi Coleman is headed to the transfer portal again. He just finished his first season at Minnesota after transferring from Nebraska. Had 5 catches, 83 yards for the Gophers this season. Nebraska junior center Bergen Riley is one of 4 finalists for the AVCA Division I Women's Volleyball Player of the Year award. The other finalists are Olivia Babcock of Pittsburgh, Mimi Collier of Wisconsin, and Eva Hudson of Kentucky. The winner will be announced on Friday. Hastings College men's basketball team will play Houston Tillotson tonight down in Austin, Texas. Hastings College women will play at the College of St. Mary's tomorrow in Omaha. We'll have that game for you here on Extreme Sports. 6 o'clock tip, 5:45 pregame here on Extreme Sports. The Nebraska Kearney women's basketball team demolished Southwestern College 111-43 yesterday at the Health and Sports Center. UNK women are now 5-6 on the season. High school basketball tonight. Adams Central will play host to St. Paul. The girls-boys doubleheader gets underway at 6. We'll have the action tonight on Extreme Sports beginning at 5:45. Also tonight, it'll be St. Cecilia playing at Cross County, and Hastings High is at Elkhorn North. In the NFL last night, Pittsburgh beat Miami 28-15. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:58.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Tuesday will be the warmest day of the week with a high close to 60 degrees today, slightly breezy with the northwest wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour and mostly sunny skies. Tonight we'll have partly cloudy skies, a low of 28, 52 and mostly sunny on Wednesday. Wednesday night will increase chances for some showers, partly cloudy and overnight low of 29. The winds kick up on Thursday, plenty of sunshine, a high of 40 and gusts up to 45 miles per hour.
Southwest winds this morning at 7, partly cloudy, 31 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volunteer Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamsbusiness.com.
All right, you're listening to Huddle Up with Mike and Science Center this morning on Extreme Sports. We've covered just about everything here this morning, reaching the final stages. Again, basketball tonight, Adams Central, St. Paul, beginning at 5:45 this afternoon here on Extreme Sports. So your other job, your teaching job, you're on Christmas break now. Woo-hoo-hoo! Or it's holiday break.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Like you don't have to go back to work at CCC for like a month?
Technically.
What do you mean technically?
We have stupid training videos that we have to do and get certified for the next semester. And there's these videos that they've locked them in now. Like, it used to be great because I used to just kind of skip ahead and take the quiz and pass and
move on.
You know, because it was kind of like common sense stuff. Well, they've disabled the skip feature now.
Oh no! So you gotta watch them.
You gotta sit there and watch them all, and you can't move or vary the speeds. So we got to do some training, certification stuff, yada yada. Just basically simple stuff. Like, don't strangle kids. It's
so
pretty
you
easy.
You can watch the video while you're playing on your phone or
like literally doing anything. Yeah.
Doing anything else. Doing
so
your
there's
work
that
around the office. So all right.
There's that, and there's some textbooks that I have to go through and pick the material out and preparations basically for next semester. But the teacher's work is never done, as they will say in education. I don't know. I don't consider myself an educator. I'm just lucky to be there. It's a great time.
All right, so you're off of that job for a while.
Off on that job. Back to the brewery.
Yeah, you're down to 2 jobs now for a while.
Oh, it's always fun because you get off for Christmas break and then your other bosses are like, "Oh, so you're free?
Oh yeah,
here, pick up all these shifts here at the bar."
Yeah, we got all these hours.
Yeah,
it's
which is fine because I love working in service industry during the holidays, and to that end, I will give credit where credit is due. Like, this community is freaking awesome when it comes to being generous around the holidays. And I've had great customers, even on like slow days, but because it's close to the holiday, their generosity, they tip well. So I love working in December in the bar industry. It's a great time.
People are happy.
People are generally happier because family is back and Christmas is arriving and they're in a festive mood.
Have you gotten your Christmas shopping done? I haven't asked you yet.
I have more done at this point than I normally do.
Yeah, usually you're a last second guy.
I am a December 24th, 12 o'clock noon, go to the nearest store and figure it out kind of guy. This I've done some pre-planning. I've even done a little online stuff to make sure that they have time to get here because God knows that takes forever. Nothing is more embarrassing when you show up and you're like, well, here's your order of your gift. You can look at it. It'll be here when it's here.
Hopefully
no, I'm in a pretty good spot. I can still do some more, obviously, but
good. You'll have time to do it.
Yeah,
you'll have time to do it. All right. If you'd like to listen to the show again, maybe listen to the comments that we had from Husker defensive coordinator Phil Snow or anything else we discussed on the show today, you can just download the podcast. One of our social media sites will have that available for you. Make plans to be here again tomorrow morning at 7 for Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.